In this video, we'll be replacing the headlight switch on this Ford F-150. So to remove our dash panel here, we're going to start with these two little trim pieces. They have one on each side of the steering wheel. We're going to come in with a small flat blade screwdriver and just pop these out. There'll be 2 points of contact behind there with 2 clips. So now on the other side of our steering wheel, so now behind our 2 trim pieces that we just removed, we'll have some T20 screws, one on each side, and one underneath our headlight switch. So now to remove this dash trim panel, your headlight knob has to come out. Now what you're going to need to do is pull your headlight switch all the way out, rotate it until you see a cutout on the back side of the knob here. You'll come in with a small flat blade screwdriver. You'll see just a little piece of metal in there. So once you find that tab, go ahead and push rearward and pull the knob right off. So now at this point, if you have a tilt steering wheel, go ahead and lower your steering wheel all the way down. Unfortunately, we don't, but the only thing we will have to do is lower our blinker on one side. Then we'll come up top, the top of our black trim piece here, grab a hold of that and pull inward. We're going to work our hands all the way around. Once we feel that we have this pretty loose, we're going to rotate the passenger side up and onto the steering wheel. Once we're here, we can then unplug our fuel tank selector switch. We're going to use a small flat blade screwdriver to open that plug and pull it apart. Once you have that apart, you can then remove this trim piece. Once you get your trim piece out of the way, you can see that our old trim piece here was actually broken. We'll remove those after. Now you have access to your headlight switch. You still have this rod for your headlight switch in place that will come out after you take out these 2 T20 screws. Once you have those 2 T20 screws out, you have now your headlight switch ready to come out. And you want to pull it out about this far. You'll also see on the top a little silver button. You want to press that button and pull out the rod for your headlight switch. So now on the top of your headlight switch, you have a button. I'm going to go ahead and press that button and pull your rod right out. It's a little groove in the back that's held in inside here. Once you have your rod out of your headlight switch, we're going to flip it over. We're going to take off our electrical connection here. Just going to pry up these tabs and push our plug off. So now we're going to remove our bracket from our old headlight switch. We're also going to remove, we'll put them side by side, our new and our old. We're going to remove this nut itself and put it onto the new one as well. So this is going to be a 5/8. And spin that off. And you'll see there's a little tab here where we're going to have to lock our bracket into to make sure it's in the right orientation. So now we can discard the old, bring over our new, find that tab, line this up, and thread in our old nut here. Go ahead and get that finger tight. And then we'll come back, just give it an extra little tighten down. Doesn't have to be super tight. Once that's done, we can reinstall our electrical connection. Just go ahead and line up the plug. You'll see a notch in the back and a notch here. And just squeeze to lock it in. We're going to put that back in the dash now. We're going to line up our tabs, top and bottom, and put our 2 T20 screws back in. So now to put your dash trim panel in, we're going to put it up on the steering wheel. We're going to take our fuel selector switch harness. We're going to connect that. Now we can lower our trim piece into place. Again, right around here we'll have to push down. Now this might take just a little bit of wiggling to get it to sit just right. The harness might be in the way here. Now if you've made it this far, don't rush it by trying to force it into place. You don't want to crack or break any clips. Just take your time. It will go into place. Once you've found those spots where it needs to locate into, just go ahead and give it a couple of firm pushes in all the way around. Your main clips are going to be up across the top. Down here in the middle, it'll be held in by these T20 screws. We'll put those back in now. So now I'll put one of the 2 screws back in. And while we're here, we'll put our cover back on. We'll locate those 2 clips and push in. The other side. And finish it off with that cover. So now the last thing we're going to do is reinstall our headlight knob. I'm going to locate it in the center. We're not going to push all the way in. We're going to make sure that when we turn our dimmer switch, that our headlight icon here isn't facing in a weird direction. You only have a few options. That looks good to us. Once you like where it is, go ahead and push it all the way in. Give it a turn all the way right, all the way left, back in, give it another pull. It should not come all the way back out. If it does come all the way back out, go ahead and do that again. Push it all the way in, left, right, and try and pull it back out. Again, you're just trying to lock in that pin at the very end of that bar. Now that you have your headlight switch installed, what you want to do is test for functionality. Turn the key on, pull for parking lights, pull for headlights, and then check your dimmer. If everything looks good, you're all done.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.